good morning. Welcome to the Morning Wood Podcast, Week 3. Appreciate everybody stopping out and waking up with some morning wood this bright Sunday morning. Let's start by introducing the guys here. We got a special guest along with the normal Tata and Vexx. Sorry, guys. The extraordinary normal hosts, Tata and Vexx. You want to say hi there, Tata?
Hello.
All right, Vexx.
What's up?
All right, and then Mr. Murlock, our special guest host. If you want to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about yourself.
I am Murlock Holmes, and I don't raid. I like to pet battle.
All right, fair. And I guess that's the reason why we got Murlock on here this morning is the three of us, aren't that big of pet battle guys, but coming up this week, it's the weekly event of Pet Battle Week. So we got Mr. Murlock Holmes here to kind of explain what to look for and kind of why WoW puts this week out there for the rest of us that don't really do this. So I guess, Murlock, if you want to explain what the benefits are this week or why you're excited about this week coming up.
So this week actually is a special week for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is obviously that it's the sign of the Crota this week, so all pet battle experience is increased by 200%. And what that means is that the experience that your pet gains from each fight is actually increased by 200%, not the XP that your character receives. So you can level pets really fast this week. Now, the reason why this week is so special is because the stars have aligned, and in your Warlords of Draenor garrison, if you have a level 3 pet menagerie, you can battle on Friday the trainer known as Squirt. So this becomes the Super Squirt holiday because Squirt is a repeatable battle that gives you experience, and with the 200% gain in XP, you can level a pet from 1 to 25, which is the highest level that a pet can get in about 3 or 4 pet battles.
Oh, wow.
So with this Friday, 3 or 4 pet battles, what would it be normally if it wasn't this like Stars Align week?
Wow, it could drag out to a really ridiculously large amount of pet battles. It really just kind of depends on your leveling style and how you do things. I know that it could take me hours to level just a couple of pets up to 25. Like maybe an hour or two of running around to different zones and everything else. And because you can't just stay in one zone because each zone has a level cap. And if you take your level 1 pet into a zone and try and fight level 25 creatures, it'll just smack your pet and kill it. This battle has like a specific predictable rotation, so you can very easily just get through the fight because you know exactly what's coming every round.
Nice, that's huge. So the 3 to 4 this week takes like what, 5, 10? What's the time it takes right now for you to do it?
So it really depends on what your pet battle team makeup is. So it can actually take, for my pet battle team, I have a couple of different ones that I use. It takes about 1 or 2 minutes per pet battle, and the experience is just crazy this week.
Nice.
So that's just exponentially amazing, going from on sub 5 minutes to normally taking an hour or 2 plus. So
yeah, it's
with,
pretty crazy.
I guess this is something I'm kind of wondering about. When the way they started changing like new pets now, they're not really as much off of like boss drops. They now have pets you can buy from vendors that you can do dailies and stuff like that. I guess.
Yep. So I don't want to cut you off. Sorry about that. So you can still catch pets out in the world. There's something like 200 or 300 pets you can get that are out in the wild. Maybe a little bit more than that. There are still drops from bosses. I know that there's one in Castle Nathria that I really want to get that I'll probably not see until it's on the auction house, from the final boss from Sire to Nathrius. I believe he drops pet. They are out there. They're from quests. They're from world quests. They're drops from random mobs in different parts of the world. They're all over the place. So you can pick them up pretty much anywhere. The thing that I like about the world quests, and something that I didn't actually realize for the longest time, is that all of the pet charms that you get from the world quest that you do, they're actually account bound. So Horde Alliance side, it doesn't matter. You can mail those tokens from other characters to one main character and kind of pool everything together. So these pets, they look like it's going to be a ridiculous amount of work to get it done because it's 250 pet charms. But if you've got 10 or 15 alts and you're running them around, you can easily run them in the old zones in Kultiris and in Zandalar and do the daily pet battle quests and then amass all those tokens on one character to buy the stuff.
So, from a pet battle standpoint, is there like a new pet that came out with this expansion that like this thing is like top tier for pet battlers? Like, is there a meta thing that came out with this tier?
There really isn't any kind of a meta, and it's like, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with Pokemon. Like
Right.
specific pets are strong against specific pets. So, like if it's a humanoid, then it's weak to undead damage. If it's one, it's weak to another. It's kind of like that setup. There are pets that are still the meta that really will go out and just crush other pets, and that's usually the pet battle team of like Icky, which is a flying pet type, combined with the Unborn Valkyr, and Little Bling. Little Bling is a robotic pet, a mechanical pet. They have different move sets that really complement each other. And despite all the nerfs that have happened, because there actually are nerfs that happen with pet battles, despite all the nerfs, Icky and those three are still a killer combination if you want to go up against stuff, but it really just depends on what you're fighting and what is weak against. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into it too.
So something I've done is kind of like an off gold making thing is that little mission table. Like if it gives me some pet charms, I'll throw some anima at it to run that. Is there a certain pet that I could use those charms to buy that would basically turn around a lot of gold for me? Like if I'm not worried about having the pet itself, but if I've got extra charms, is there one pet you'd say, hey, buy this one, people want it?
Well, so selling pets is kind of a niche market. It's the more people that are into it, obviously, the more that there is. I think the highest ones that you can get actually have nothing to do with the polished pet charms. They're either extremely rare drops from world mobs, or they are going to be from the old World of Warcraft trading card game. I know that the most expensive pet that I have in my collection right now is from that game, and I believe it's worth 450,000 gold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I know that if you look up the value of my pet collection, I probably have like 5 or 6 million gold worth of spare pets. Just from what their value is, right? But just because it says that, oh, sorry guys, I forgot to mute my phone. I should do that real quick. Just because it says that the pet sells for 400,000 gold doesn't mean it's actually going to sell for that much. Sometimes you can have it in the auction house for a really long time. I know that I leveled a spectral tiger cub, which is the 450,000 gold pet. I leveled one to 25 for Orange Paw. He sent it to me, and then I sent it back to him after I leveled it up all the way. I think he's still trying to sell that pet, and it's been a few months. So,
So kind of like my transmog situation. I've just got a ton of transmogs that I repost every couple days, and I don't sell a bunch, but the volume I have out there, it slowly chips away. Kind of, it's not high selling material. It's just having a lot out there as options.
Exactly. Like I have an archivist quill that's up there right now, and I use trade skill master, that kind of stuff, to track the prices on everything, and so I know what the regional average is. And I have that quill up there, and when it does sell, it's going to sell for around 20,000 gold because that's the average for what this thing sells for. But it's been up for like maybe 3 weeks now, and nobody's bought it yet. So
Now, how long have you been doing pet battles for? Has it been years of experience, or?
yeah, so I actually back in the day, back in Vanilla WoW, I used to collect pets. I actually had an alt that was called Pet Shop, and I think it was on maybe Doomhammer. I don't really remember what server it was anymore. But I had so many pets, and back then, pets, just like mounts, took up your inventory space. So the more pets, the more mounts you had, the more bank space you had to dedicate, and the bags were much smaller back then. So I actually created an alt to just store all my pets on. And they added it after I had actually quit the game, so that was after Wrath. And then I came back in towards the end of Cataclysm. And did you see the Cataclysm or Warlords of Draenor, one of the two? So there was a couple of years where I kind of missed out on it, and it went from I went to my pet shop alt, and then I was able to memorize all of those pets. They became account-wide pets, and then I could delete the alt because I had no reason to have it anymore. And yeah, I've been pet battling ever since I came back. Once I saw what I could do and saw how much fun it was to actually go around and hunt these things down and get all these rare items, I got hooked on it. So
Sweet.
Nice. So I guess Vexx, you got any pet battle questions here from Murlock?
You ever think about doing a pet leveling service? You know, if I shoot you some gold, you level up my pets for me, and yeah. No, how does that work actually? So I think somebody, like I had a buddy a while back, he shot me a level 25 pet, but I wasn't able to use it.
Mhm.
I take it, so I have to level up one of my pets to level 25 before I can use other 25 pets, right?
That's correct. There actually is requirements to actually be able to begin pet battling, and you will have to hit a few milestones on your own to get to that point. You actually there's a quest that you have to pick up in either Ogremar or Stormwind, and it's to capture a pet, to level it up to level 5, to do some other stuff, and you have to start building your own stuff from scratch. Once you actually level, I think it is once you level one pet all the way up to 25, that kind of unlocks you to be able to use other level 25 pets. But you can't just go to the auction house and buy a level 25 pet and start pet battling. You actually have to do some of the quests to begin that line.
Right, that was actually going to be my next question, is if I wanted to get started, that's where I'd start. There's a quest line in Orgrimmar that'll kick it off.
That's correct. Yeah. So if you're starting off as Alliance, you want to look for Julia, the pet tamer. And if you're starting off as Horde, then you're going to look for Zunta, the pet tamer.
Gotcha. Cool.
Nice.
I've also heard that like people getting level 1 rare pets, leveling them up to 25, and then putting them back in the auction house, and apparently that had a gold difference. Is that true as well, or no?
Yes and no. I don't really care about I personally don't care about the level of the pet that I buy in the auction house, unless I really want to get a level 25 pet and it's going to be a pain to level it. But I'm pet battling all the time. So it really just depends on what your time and your effort is that you're going to put into it. So you might look and see that there's a pet that you could go to the auction house right now and pull it up, and it's probably 300 or 400 gold. But then somebody else has taken it and actually leveled it up to 25, and they put it up for 1,000 gold. Well, if you don't want to invest a lot of time in it, then you're going to want to buy the level 25 pet, because you're just paying for the convenience of not having to level the pet. Some people get a little crazy with it. It used to double the pet value, but it doesn't really have that much of an effect anymore. Once you get into pet battling, you can actually earn stones and those stones will help you to upgrade your pet or to level it. There is a purple leveling stone called the Ultimate Pet Battle or Ultimate Battle Training Stone, and it'll level your pet instantly to 25.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
And you can buy those with pet charms at vendors. At there's pet vendors all over the world. So, but you can buy those for polished pet battle stones at most pet vendors. So, it's just up to you and how much time and effort you want to sink into each individual pet.
Nice. So how long? What's the window between this super squirt week? Like it's every 4 weeks. What's the rotation on this? You know?
Every 4 to 6 months.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So this is really special because it's Sign of the Critter and Squirt. Now Squirt will come up. I think it's like every 4 or 5 weeks. You can go to your Warlords of Draenor garrison, your level 3 pet menagerie, or your level 3 garrison, and you can go to your pet menagerie, and I think as long as it's level 2, Squirt will be there every couple of weeks, and you can go and battle him repeatedly or battle her repeatedly for experience. But it's just going to give you a normal couple thousand experience per session. You can inflate that by using special items in the game that will actually, if you stack them, they will give you 85% more experience. So there is a lesser pet treat, which gives you, let me see here. The lesser pet treat gives you a 10%, I think it is. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's a 25% buff. The regular pet treat gives you a 50% buff.
Okay.
And there is a safari hat you can get for completing this achievement called Taming the World, and that will give you a 10% buff. So those all add up to 85%. If you go in and you fight Squirt with those buffs, you get decent experience. When you add on to it the Sign of the Critter bonus, then it becomes astronomical. It's 285% experience buff.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. That's why
Now-
this particular week is important.
I saw somebody actually when they were leveling an alt. Now, not a pet battle, but actual character. Because I know there's XP for your pets and there's XP for your characters, and they had an extra XP bonus event going on in World of Warcraft. He also had a bunch of heirlooms on as well.
Mhm.
And basically what he did was he pet battled his way all the way to max level. At that time it was 120, I believe it was BFA. And
Yep.
he was getting an insane amount of player XP. So that's a thing as well as like power leveling and alt through pet battles.
Yes, you used to be able to do that. You can't do it from the Squirt holiday anymore. They removed the character experience from the trainer battles in WoD because people were using it so much. But yeah, you could
Wow,
you could sit there. You could get the character over to Warlords of Draenor and level your garrison up and level your pet menagerie up and just sit there and over and over, just hammer it and get 40,000 experience per pet battle for your character instead of your pets. So
That is crazy.
and it's actually such a predictable fight. You can actually use an add-on called TD Pet Battle Script, which if you don't mind me plugging it, when I'm streaming on Friday, I'll be doing an all-day stream where I'm actually just doing nothing but leveling pets. And you'll notice that as I'm fighting this battle, I'm just tapping one key on my keyboard over and over and over again because it's so predictable that it's going through a script and it's doing it in the game, completely legal mechanic. It's not an exploit. And it just rotates it and you just keep using the same moves every single fight.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that's a big Netflix day for you too, huh?
Oh yeah. So I tell people all the time, if you're actually going to be participating in the Squirt holiday or the Super Squirt holiday, your third most important add-on is either Hulu or Netflix and something you really want to watch on another screen, because it gets boring sitting there doing it for 8 hours straight. But I've done it before multiple times.
And you're
Fair.
stream this, you said?
Yeah. I'm going to be streaming it on the 12th. the Pet Battle Holiday, and then I will be using footage from that stream to put together a guide so that people can prepare for the next holiday, because it actually does take a bit of gold, and it does take a bit of a time investment, as you guys probably all know, to level up your garrisons in Draenor. And it does take to get the level 3 pet menagerie. I believe you have to do the achievement, which they actually reduced it. So it used to be 500 pet battles you would have to do in Draenor to get the level 3 menagerie, but now it's only 150.
Wow.
Nice.
What platform are you going to be streaming on?
I'll be streaming on Twitch.
Which, okay.
Okay, and what's your handle? Just we can plug it here while we're at it.
Yeah, it's Murlock_Holmes.
Okay, and that'll be
Twitch.tv.
on the stream for you guys too, and I'll throw a link in the YouTube description too, so you guys can just click on it. He'll be live Friday doing that. For you people that want to jump into the pet battle world, this is your guy. Murlock's gonna have all the information you need, and you can catch him live Friday doing this, pressing that one button over and over. So he's got plenty of time to answer any questions or talk to you about it.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Please ask me questions.
I guess Tata, Vexx, you got any more questions from Murlock before we move on to the next topic?
Not any at the moment, but
Yeah,
it's
sure. I'll
very
think of something.
pet battles is one of those definitely like interesting topics that there's stuff there that people really don't know, people don't take advantage of. But
Right.
yeah, thank you so much for going through that explanation, though.
Yeah, sure, not a problem.
Murlock, anything else you want to touch on with the world of pet battles before we go to the next topic?
No, that's pretty much it. Just the one thing that I can tell people is if you're intimidated by doing the world quests, everything else, they've made it really, really easy. All you need are level 1 pets. You can take level 1 pets and you can go out and you can fight these legendary pets. They will scale down to match the level of your pet. So if you go in with 3 level 1s, you're going to be fighting a level 1. If you go in and you have 2 level 1s and a level 2, you're going to be fighting a level 2. And the battles are less intimidating because they won't have access to their full move set. So it actually might be really easy for you to get into pet battling if you want to go out and do that. You just got to go out and try it out and see if you can start building up the teams that you like to use to take people down.
Sweet.
I was like arena.
And there is a pet battle PvP thing too.
Oh, nice.
Wait,
So you
what?
could- you could
Wait,
duel
hold on.
other people.
What?
Yeah.
could
Why
pet-
can we
pet
start off
duel.
with that? I was kidding.
Yeah, so there actually is pet battle PvP. You can just walk straight up to somebody and you can pet battle duel them right then and there. And your
Wow.
pet team will go up against their pet team, or you can actually queue for PvP. And if you're going to queue for PvP, the pet levels don't scale. So make sure that you know what you're doing before you go in there, because you will just get spanked. I go in there sometimes and I'm like, all right, I got this really killer team. I'm going to smoke these people. And they just come on there and totally jack me. I'm like, because it's so random and you're fighting against people, you either going to come across somebody who has no idea what they're doing, or you're going to come across somebody who has this ultimate combination that is just impossible to defeat with what you have, and then you'll never see it again.
Okay, and can you talk to the other players regardless of faction, or it's like limited
No.
to?
No,
Can
you
you
have
talk
no
to-
idea. You have no idea who it is. They actually put a costume on you.
Oh,
Oh,
You
so
don't know
you
who
can't
you're
even talk
battling.
to the other player. Wow. Can you
That way
emote
they're
them?
you can't.
Tata's
I've
looking
tried.
to troll.
I've tried.
Bro, like
You
I'm
can't-
trying, dude.
You can't emote them. You can't do anything. All you can do is join the pet battle and leave the pet battle. That's pretty much it. And it does have a timer. It's like Hearthstone. If you don't use your move, like you want to join and you just sit there, then they'll just be able to use their moves and just keep killing your pet. So
all right, nice. So now you got Tata excited. He's gonna become a glad Pokemon WoW master.
There you go.
All right, well, let's move on to the next topic. The world boss this week. I'm kind of excited about this because as I did the research, this is probably the best of the 4-week world bosses just for people. It's the Oronomas, or big plant looking creepy dude out in the Night Fae area. This guy's going to drop 4 different Lego upgrades. Your Fire Mage, this is your BIS Raid one. So Fire Mages, get out there Tuesday, kill that world boss. You'll have to wait 4 weeks to get this again. Hunters, Marksman, it's got your Rapid Fire one. This is why I stopped playing the Hunter, because I leveled it 2 days after this boss was gone and had to wait 4 weeks. So I may bring that Hunter back, because this thing actually works good for Mythic Pluses and for PvP. So it's going to be top tier, or at least second, for a lot of Hunters on both sides of it. And then
Is that the rapid fire through the walls, or?
So Rapid Fire just goes through the wall. If I cast it on you before you duck, it's still going to go through the wall. But
That's right,
this one
yeah.
increases the damage of it, where it scales somehow. So it makes your Rapid Fire
okay.
just hit harder. There's an aim shot one, but this is the Rapid Fire buff one. So I don't know if it's so much the meta anymore. I think I saw some Glad streamer going with like a turtle shell one that makes but true shot, and your aspects all come faster. So he was turning like a 2-minute burst window into a 1-minute burst window. So this might be like mid-tier, like us 1400 players, like us just wanting to hit the people that are under geared. So this is the world that Vexx and I live in, not the world of Tata Gladiator.
Stop, dude.
Right, and then the third one, it's the Resto Druid. So Resto Druid PvP has a few different ones. So this is your Swiftman will not take off the hot, because they changed it this tier where to do Swiftman you have to have a hot, and it uses that hot to heal. So this Lego doesn't use it and adds another buff. So we got Raid for Fire Mage, M+ and PvP for Hunter, and then PvP for Druid. So all 3 Legos that drop off this boss. If you're one of those classes you want to get out there, at least check the box so you have that option if you want, so you have to wait another 4 weeks for it. I guess you guys got any questions on the world boss, or quick little touch on? We're good to go after that one. Tata?
Good to go.
Vexx, you good? Murlock, you got anything with that?
Yeah, no, with this particular world boss is down in the southwest corner of Ardenweald, right? The one that's kind of down there in the Tirna Sith area, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, southwest, there's a road that goes up to it.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to, if you're going to go there, you don't actually have to run through all those elites. You actually run around, and then you can look on the map, you'll see the road that goes around. So try to save yourself from actually trying to run through that maze and get killed going down there. I used to run through it before I figured out there was a road to go around.
Right.
That's such a good point. I used to just run in there, divine, and do my mountain speed increase to get the hell out of there.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd run to that waterfall and then jump off with a goblin glider.
There you go.
And it's not worth it to do that. You just run all the way around and then jump off from one of the high ledges on the other side where it's safe.
All right, fair. So Murlock tip of the week: go to the south, run up the road, avoid having to use the Tata bubble cheat system. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, raid progress. So this week has taken a turn for raid progress. So there are 144 cutting edge guilds as of last night. That's a jump from 84 the week before. 60 more guilds this week knocked it off. It's also hit the 100 horde guilds. So Hall of Fame's cut off. No more horde guilds can get that title. Sorry Vexx, sorry Tata, you guys missed out. Don't have that glory. But
Damn.
if you want to transfer over to Alliance does still have that. Because
Pass.
out of the 144, 24 of those are Alliance. So 76 Hall of Fame spots still available for Alliance. If you want to faction and try and make that push to get that title that'll last forever, put a little plaque on your wall in real life. But
Wait, so that title lasts not through the season. Next season you still have it?
yeah, it's
That
an
works.
achievement title, as you got the Hall of Fame, like one of the first Alliance or Horde guilds in that tier. Kind of like how you get AOTC, but this one is a Hall of Fame first world 100 horde or alliance guilds to kill that boss.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I think there's some hordes that make alts or transfer some over just to say they did it, because they've got the skill set already. They just need to go to the other faction to do it, because I don't think racials are that huge anymore, especially getting into 12 weeks or how many weeks we are into the expansion now. But with that, we need to have 100 horde and 100 alliance guilds both kill it to get the, what did I just call it? I'm drawing a blank now. Get the Hall of Fame thing. And then we can do cross server mythics. So then we can start pugging a little bit more, open up to maybe the bigger guilds carrying, bringing in 1 or 2 people. So, and help those people that are maybe 18 of the 20 and they're not able to fill those slots, being able to pull a couple from a different server. So might see a little more progression once we finally get there, but this tier has been a slower progression than tiers prior. So, and we are on, like my guild personally might, we are on our 2nd week of pushing Sire. I think we might have it next week now. We're getting to phase 3. We just need to figure out how phase 3 works. Tata, how you guys sitting on your guys' progress over there?
We got up to 2%, and I actually thought he was gonna go down. We were all like, "Yep, this is it." And I can't actually remember. I think that one of our tanks got like blown off the edge. It's definitely a fight that phase 3, like I would say maybe like 15% and on, is probably the hardest of all in the fight, which is very tilting because it's a long fight. So you're going all the way through and only find out that the last part is ridiculously harder than all the other phases. And you're just like, wow, like you need to practice phase 3 more than the other phases, but you have to go through that whole fight. So it's so tilting. It's so tilting, but we hit 2%, like I think maybe like 15 minutes before like the raid was called off. And so we did another pool, and it was just like everyone was like already super tired. So we're kind of already believe that Tuesday is gonna be it, but I don't know. It's a really hard fight. It for sure is.
All right, and I guess Vexx, have you gotten any more raids done, or did you stay out of raid? Like, it was the plague this week? Like,
Yeah, I haven't touched on raid yet.
right, so Vexx is still social distancing from PvE.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll dip his toe back in there.
Exactly. There you go.
Murlock, I guess, have you tried any of the raid this week, or have you done any raid, I guess, in general this tier?
So with Might, I did actually go to my 2nd raid this expansion. The first time I think that I did it was actually in one of the very first raids, and I believe that we got pretty far. I don't remember. I don't remember what the name of the boss is that we got to. What's the one where you have the jars where you have to like manage the anima jars? You know, ones I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know what the. Yeah, I remember her name, but
You gotta like fill the anima up on the sides, right? Make sure they're leveled, I think.
Yeah.
That's,
I forgot what.
Yeah, we
Lady
got
Minerva Darkvein.
There we go, Dark Vein.
There we go. Yeah.
So I'm not much of a raider, so I apologize for that. I don't remember the names of all the bosses and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I went in there and did that. That was pretty fun.
Right, and not being a raider doesn't change that. Like, I've done raided every week. I had to look it up, the name. Like, like you said, it was the jar boss, is what I refer to it. Like the 2nd boss, it's the dog boss.
Yeah.
Like, so
The dog boss.
So just knowing what's going on is kind of enough to describe it. We all know what you're talking about. That jar boss, we've dealt with that craziness. So
yeah, and I think that, you know, for people like me though that get kind of intimidated by not wanting to screw it all up, you know, the normal level of the raid is pretty easy to do. It's when you get past the heroic part, or when you get into heroic and the later bosses, I think it gets more difficult. So
right.
Try out looking for raid, try out that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so speaking of looking for raid, this week they did open up the last boss in Castle for looking for raid. So Sire is now available to fight that with random pugs. I don't know if you guys have gone in there, but usually that last boss looking for raid is kind of a shit show. 'Cause let's be honest, when there's a bunch of mechanics with people that don't know what's going on, not in Voyous, it's just kind of a screaming match of who screwed up, and if there's one person that can wipe it, it becomes a mess. I think I might try and dip my toe into that this afternoon, just to see what it's like, because out of all the looking for raids, this has actually been the smoothest tier I've ever seen of it, because I go in there, just kind of hang out, watch Netflix, and just get the transmog gear. But I was surprised on how well pugs have been doing the looking for raid this tier, and I think it's just because of the gear sync, because initially it was hard to get gear. It's starting to tailor now a little bit more, but that gear at 183, I believe, was still pretty high, because that was compared to Mythic 0 gear. So,
yeah. And you can get like really high level PvP gear and go into LFR. And I actually did a test last raid where I switched to my PvP set, which is like, I think I'm 222 eye level in. And I said, I'm just going to do PvE with my PvP trinket and everything just to see how I heal. And it was exactly the same. Like, I didn't see any difference whatsoever, even though I had like 30% verse on. So the fact that you can run in there with your PvP gear, you could absolutely destroy PvE with it. It's so good.
Right. And how does that work going against your guild paladin? Like, are you able to compete with him?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
PvP gear?
Yes, I'm still competing at the same exact level in second place, okay?
Ah,
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about the raid this week? Tata, anything else there?
No.
All right. What about you there, Vexx?
nah, I gotta get in there myself.
Murlock, anything on the raid you got?
Nope.
All right. Nice. All right. Let's move on to Mythic Plus. So this week's affix is coming up. We got Bursting, Explosive, and Tie Week. Tyrannical has been not buffed, debuffed, reduced. So the boss's health used to be increased by 40%. Now they've tailored it down to 30%. And a lot of the kind of the tank killing ads have been nerfed too, because this, I guess, meta or this season has been kind of a it's been a tank kiting meta, where basically the tanks just need to run around because everything's just squishing them. So I haven't been in there yet this week after this nerf came in place, but I guess tanks are having a little better time, and they're not just being one shot by one ad getting some kind of mechanic off. I guess, Tata, have you been in there for any since this nerf has happened yet?
No, but we just actually started forming like a little Mythic Keystone push group. So we definitely plan on getting in there. I'm actually really glad. I've been calling for a tie nerf for some time now, because it just doesn't, like, tie week compared to fortified week, it's just ridiculously off. Like, it's just a shame that, you know, you could not time any keys whatsoever on tie week, but then fortified week comes and you could triple your IO, and it just wasn't really. I always said they need to either give more IO for tie week, or they just needed a nerf tie. So I'm really glad they did that. I can't wait to actually see how that comes into play.
Nice. Yeah, it has been kind of a flip-flop where it's, okay, fort week is a push week, tie week is a throw week. Like, why even bother? It's going to be rough in there. Get your one key and worry about it next week. But it also, it makes for that inflated IO score. Like, some people are putting some high numbers up on fort week, and you're like, oh man, this guy's got a high score, let's bring him to tie week. And it's like, he's got that false IO now because he pushed on that easy week. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like a couple of my friends as well, like, you know, in the first tie week, they won't do any mythics. And then when Fortified comes around, they'll literally take the whole week off, get their IO to a ridiculous amount, and then they're good for the season. And I was always like, that is such a cheesy way to push IO. So I'm really glad they did that, though. As long as now Fortified and tie week are even, that will really make a huge plus for Mythic Plus.
nice. And Vexx, I guess you get any Mythic Pluses this week to try the tornado fixes?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely ran my +2, which had absolutely no effects on it. No, I only ran my I ran a +2 and a 0 this week, so no, I hadn't seen him.
Nice. We'll have to try and get you up to that 10 because I really enjoy the Prideful, but just the gear that drops in it isn't worth it. And I think Murlock touched on the fact that they're going to start having a little more anima drop out of more PvE content to kind of have a little bit more draw, but
Right.
just the gear in PvP, like I'm starting to tailor my WoW time towards PvP just for the gear. Like it's easier to acquire and there's more satisfaction for your playtime. You're getting gear faster, you're getting more returns.
Right.
I guess Murlock, you've been doing dungeons or?
So the guild has been kind enough to start carrying me through some mythics. I am doing Mythic 0 and low-key mythics. I actually have not even run all the dungeons in this expansion yet. I'm seriously that much of like a collector and pet battler and stuff like that I haven't even run. I'm still getting achievements for normal dungeons. So I have done a couple of them, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. But the thing that always bugged me about it was just the lack of gear that you get for the effort to put in PvP. This expansion, the gear for it is just so amazing. I can PvP it and get good item level gear. Like I have a 200 item level. That's pretty impressive for somebody that doesn't really do mythics.
Right.
No, I'm right there
Yeah.
with you. I haven't touched on a lot of the dungeons yet myself, so.
I'm kind of like not in full agreement of how the eye levels are really set up right now, just because, like I said, if you're in full PvP gear, you can do PvE and PvP gear with not a problem. And it's kind of a shame that I haven't fully decided if I'm actually going to continue with Mythic Raid, because I don't really need the gear from there. It doesn't really benefit me in any way. So I'm just thinking, like, why would you want to set up a really hard raid and have, these new dungeons with Mythic out, but it doesn't really benefit you much when you could just do PvP, and a lot of people are just AFKing their way through BGs getting all the best gear. It just blows my mind.
Right.
Well, it's all that sweet anima that drops from the mythics that and the raids. That's what it's all about. Everybody goes to the raids for anima. That's what I hear.
Right. You farm that sire boss for months and months, and then yes, 35 anima.
Finally got my anima. I've been working so hard to get this anima. This anima cost me 15,000 golden repairs.
But I guess if we look for the positive note, if I don't kill sire for these 11 weeks, let's just say 10 weeks, I only lost out on 350 anima. So I didn't lose out on a lot by not being able to progress and kill him, because 350, 2 world quests. I can go turn in like 20 acorns to somebody out in Night Fae Land and get the same amount of anima. All right, Tata, do you any idea what your IO score is? I want to start tracking this each week to see kind of where you're at, so it gives me something to kind of motivate you to be like, hey, Tata, my IO is higher.
Yeah, I think right now we're actually just going to be trying to get just a plus 15 mount, because I actually think it's a really sweet mount, but my IO is like between, I want to say 800 and 900. It's probably like 850, 860 or something like that.
Tata got different characters in it, or is it just a...
Yeah, the last one's all 133. In the beginning I pushed a lot of mythics because I thought the gear was going to be better, but I was kind of wrong. So after I did the mythics, I didn't realize that there's actually there's not that many pieces as BFA, right? Now it's like if you time a key, you get 2 pieces of gear for the group. So your chances of getting gear are very low.
And it's not even the best gear even at this point, because I think a 10 gives you 203 end of it, and 203 is almost like a normal raid. So
Wow.
it gives you a higher end of the week, because I think a 10 gives you like 226, I believe, end of the week in your mythic chest. But like the instant return, if you wanted to farm it, it's like how many hours worth of 2 pieces dropping, and It's just not the most efficient way, where if I go PvP, get my conquest 200, I get to pick which 200 or 207, 213, whichever level you're at. And then also you buy it, you can scale that up. Like PvP is just exponentially where it's at, because you buy that 200 piece and now I get better at PvP, it turns into 207. I think WoW should, I don't know if this is even ever going to be a thing, but what are your thoughts on, you run a Mythic, you get a piece of 200 gear, as you progress in higher Mythics, getting like a token system or something to upgrade that piece? Would that make any sense to make it kind of comparable to how the PvP grind works? Or what are your thoughts on that there, Tata?
I think they need to actually, so they need to kind of figure out a way what's equivalent to, like, because remember in PvP you upgrade your gear through rating. So if you hit 2400 rating, you can get 233 weapons. So that's huge, right? 233, like the fact that you can have 233 weapons in the game right now is crazy to think about. But what they need to do is figure out, okay, what key is almost similar. It's not going to be exact, of course, but it's similar to 2400 rating, and then make that 233 weapons as well. That way it's all the same playing field, kind of, you know? You push a high 18 key, well then 220 gear is going to drop out of that. That would make it very appealing to do, and try to push higher keys and motivate people. And they should do the same thing with raid as well. You know, like maybe the first couple of bosses in raid drop lower gear, and then it progresses more than what it does now. That way at the very end you're dropping 220 gear or whatever's equivalent to 2400. That way it's all like, if you're competitive in raid, IO, or PvP, ultimately at the very end on the high competitive end, you're rewarded for it. Is what I would think would be the best idea.
So what are your thoughts on, I guess I'm bringing my mind back to BFA, where like the warrior weapon dropped from King's Rest, where it was the final boss, had that like sword that had the bleed on it. So like every new tier that came out, it was the same dungeon you had to go through. You had to do it 10, 12, 13 times to get that same weapon again at the level 15, level 10, or as the gear kept scaling up. What would your thought be if they put in like a token system where, okay, now I got my weapon, it's going to be potentially the best in slot for me, I just need to get a higher quality one. If they did something where the PvP system where you hit a certain rank and you get honor, you upgrade it. What if they did that with dungeons, where they had a similar token system where, okay, I did a 15, now I can upgrade my gear to, let's say, 220. I've just got to do more mythics to get this currency to be able to increase that as an item. What would your thoughts be if they put some kind of system like that in place?
I feel like that's much better than, I feel like that's better because it takes away the RNG as well. Lets you kind of build your gear how you would prefer it. So yeah, I think ultimately that's, you know, and of course the higher keys you get, the more that currency drops or something other, or maybe it unlocks a different tier, like maybe from like 1 keystone to 10. If you hit a 10, you can upgrade to 210 or something, and then if you do 15, it's 220, and then, you know, and plus with the currency, I feel like that would be basically, they're almost just matching PvP. And yeah, and I think that's the way to go. But right now it's like, not only is it your chances of getting gear very slim, but the chances of you getting the gear that you need is also even worse. So it's like, it's just a huge RNG mess, really, in Mythics. That's how I see it. The only reason why people would want to run Mythics right now is either to run the Mythic Zeros to gear an alt, because that's of course going to be a quick way, or to get your Mythic mount.
Fair. I guess, so Vexx, you're kind of coming up in the Mythic world now. What would your thought be if they put in a system like that?
Yeah, like, why not mimic the PvP system, right? And adopt that like raid or IO, where you get, as like you guys are saying, as you progress through the Mythic Pluses, you gain your raid or IO score, or whatever they end up calling it in game. And with that rating that you have PvE side, you can spend a PvE currency, just like you're saying. That's what I think. I think they should mimic the PvP side. It's just what changes is the content. You're running dungeons and raids, but you're growing a raid or IO score and building a currency that you could spend on that drop that you got from Mythic +2, spend your currency and use that rating that you have to upgrade it. Yeah, I think that's what they should do.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know what
point,
the
though, Vexx.
I don't
Like,
know what the
making raid or
downside
IO
would be.
game.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do that before when we saw that when it first came out. I kind of expected it to be adopted. And it's no different than what they're doing now in PvP, right? Because as you progress through, you grow your rating, and then with your currency, you can upgrade your gear or buy your gear, and that's what I think. They gate it per. Sorry, I'm smacking my mic around. They gate it per what your IO score is. That's yeah. I think they should just mimic it, and what changes is the content. If you don't want a PvP, then you PvE.
I love that.
The old Valor point system and the old Justice point system that they had in I think all the way up to Mists of Pandaria, where you could get that. If they could modify it,
Right.
I think that would reward people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, add that PvE currency and gate it by your level progression. Whether it be
Right.
like some kind of PvP as opposed to PvE score, just having a score system of, okay, I've hit this level, now I can my gear up to start pushing for the next level.
Yeah, why not do that? You know, the system's already in place with PvP.
Alright, boys, I guess anything else we want to talk about on the Mythic side of things? I guess, Murlock, anything else in Mythic for you?
No, I think you guys kind of covered it all. I would like to see for the people that I watch, for the streamers that I watch, for the from the people that I know that are running these things, I would like to see some sort of a system put in place that actually gives them loot for their effort, that actually gives them more for their effort, because it's for people that don't run it, it's easy to say, oh, Mythic 10, whatever. Mythic 10 is hard. Like that's for like an average player, that's pretty hard. And going into Mythic 18, Mythic with really high keys and not getting gear for it, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
All right, Vexx, anything else on the Mythic topic for you?
I'm good.
Tata?
No, I just find it so funny that in PvP I'm 222 eye level and
Right.
people are doing crazy mythics right now and they're like not getting anything. It just blows my mind, dude.
Yep.
But that's it, man. It's so funny.
All right, well, on the PvP topic, let's switch over there. So, Tata, we got some good PvP news on your end, I've heard this week. I think we're retiring the Challenger Tata title, right?
Yeah, I didn't stay up too late, actually. I thought it was going to be a really late night, but we knocked out our Glad wins last night and got the Gladiator achievement. And yeah, we had a blast doing it. And it happened a lot quicker. Usually at the end of the season, it's a lot easier to push rating in Arena. And so I kind of expected to be at the end of the season, but we, kind of ruled with the meta. Yeah, we knocked it out.
Oh yeah, dude! Congrats. That's huge.
Thanks,
Let's
man.
go, man.
Nice. So, for the viewers out there, if you're looking to buy Gladiator, Mr. Tata is now selling it. Reach out to him for prices and quotes. So,
Holy cow.
all right. Well, last week we started a topic, and I guess it got some little heat on it on the Tata's top tier and Tata's dumpster fire. So, let's.
Oh yeah.
Since you put in some more games this week, what's the top tier now of like if I run across this class or this comp, I'm like shit, let's just leave. What's the top tier you've gone across this week that you're just like, I hate this comp?
Well, right now it for us is probably gonna be Frosty K and either Monk or Monk, Warrior, Red Pally, anything really with a Frosty K. The Frosty Ks just destroy double melee. You put that on top of with a Windwalker, it's just so much damage. The only way we actually beat them is if the Monk makes just a crazy mistake by either not karmaing or we bop it and he just drops. But with the melee bust that came through last Tuesday, it's just it's just so much damage. And if you're running double melee, Frost DKs, for those that don't know, have an ability called Chill Streak, which basically bounces a magical debuff on whoever's in range. I think it's 6 yards. and Chill Streak it'll literally destroy your whole team. So if they grip the healer and have 3 standing right next to him and he pops Chill Streak, you're just like basically the strat is to grip the healer, the monk leg sweep all 3 of them, Frost DK props Chill Streak, and everybody instantly goes to 20% health. So trying to beat that was every time we went up against a Frost DK, we were kind of just like, wow, we're dead. But we were double melee, so if we were double casters, it'd probably be different. Yeah, that was kind of something that we were just getting destroyed on.
So I guess that's kind of wrecking you guys from how we talked last week. I think last week you're talking about like you were now stacked on your melee and it was making your healing amazing. You run this like 3 stack of like we're just this clump of damage and we're not dying because the heals are working out well. That countered. Yeah. That countered you now hard.
Frost DK is definitely counter it. Yeah, they got I think a 5-10%. I want to say it's a 5, but they got a increase in damage and a small nerf on Chill Streak, but it still did quite a bit of damage. And if you put that in with like a ret Divine Toll, it's just you'll get one-shotted for sure. Every time we went up against that comp, we were just starting to run at the healer, hoping the healer would mess up. That was really our strat on the end game.
All right, and then so last week your dumpster fire class of the week was monk, but I guess there was some blowback on this because it wasn't all monks. It was just the monks that don't know how to play monk, because there's a skill cap to it where you need to know when to peel as a monk and get out, because you can't just stay in there the whole time and just roll with the punches like a normal melee class can. Is monk still up there, or do you have a new class that can be like, you know what, this is the dumpster fire, I see this, we're just gonna wreck it, easy win?
I would say that, I mean, so what I said last weekend about basically monks were, you know, they're so zoned in on doing damage that they're not either karming or they're not porting, and this is happening even at high MMR. And even our actually last Glad win, we went up against Windwalker Frost DK and we destroyed the Windwalker. He didn't even karma, he didn't do anything, he just died. And it's just because they're so zoned in. And so I'm actually just gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep it there because I'm just not seeing it. But they're we do lose against Windwalkers that hit their buttons, of course, but their damage is probably the highest in the game. I don't think anything comes close to a Windwalker, their damage. So it was funny though, because every time we lost against a Windwalker, they used to always say, Tata, why are that's what you get for what you said in your stream on Sunday. But yeah, I'm not saying their damage is bad. I'm just saying though that with more damage comes more responsibility.
So that Windwalker karma hit you in real life too, not just in game. It hit you in real life.
Exactly.
All right. So Vexx, you been doing any PvP or what's been in your world this week?
Not a lot. I ran some 2s a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
So this week consisted of a couple of mythics. I guess you kind of stayed away from WoW this week. Like...
Yeah, I didn't play a ton. A couple mythics, just a few 2s. Yeah, it was a slow week for me this week.
All right, what's that 2s rating sitting at?
Probably around like 1400.
What you got there? You got the 207 bump at least. So
yeah.
Next week's goal 1600. We're gonna see. What is
yeah, possibly.
Combatant?
We'll see.
is combatant, or what's 1600 title?
Oh god, I don't remember.
I think it's Challenger 1600. Yeah, 1600,
okay, so
then Rivals 18.
Combatants 14, Challengers 16.
Yep.
Okay, so next week we're looking to see Challenger Vexx show up to the Morningwood.
Possibly, yeah. We'll see.
All right. Murlock, you been doing any PvP or?
I typically stick to Battlegrounds. I don't do a lot of rated stuff.
Okay.
So.
Well,
I've tried. I get my butt kicked.
Fair. Well, I guess that's the downfall of being Alliance too. We kind of have that 30%, 40% on a good week win percentage. So, but we get fast queues, so it works out. Our honor, we don't get the honor win bump. We get the volume honor.
Yeah, that's why I like Epic Battlegrounds. I can sit back and collect my bloody coins and just keep doing kill shots.
Fair. There we go. Well, I put in some time here on Rated Battlegrounds this week. I think I'm at just shy of 1700 this now. And
Holy cow.
it's unfortunate because nobody else took a feral druid. Like, if you have an option of let's pick up a druid, they want you as boomkin. So here I am now just playing boomkin and just shitting on people with damage. It's just ridiculous. But when there's feral, just be honest, they won't take you as feral. So I have to queue as boomkin because I queue first question, boomy. Like, that's the only question you get. If you say no, they just decline you instantly. So here I am now pushing. Maybe I'll get 1800 this week just playing the boomkin as I start gearing up, because now my gear all bumped up to 213, I think is what it is now. So
Yeah, I believe it's 213. Yeah, hopefully you get that, dude. That'd be sweet. The best thing to do is to go in as Boomy and then just change your spec before Q.
just switch mid-fight.
Just kidding.
Surprise.
Surprise.
There we go. We'll put that as Tata's tip of the week. Q as boomkin, but as soon as you get in there, switch to feral, and
There you go.
there's nothing they can do to you at that point. So all right, I guess any other topics we want to, or any other things we want to talk about on the PvP topic there, Vexx, or how you sitting?
I'm good.
All right, Tata, you good on PvP?
Yes.
All right, Murlock, anything else on the PvP front?
Nothing from me.
Well, we do have a clip here. Let me get this pulled back up. Tata brought us a hate to see it moment of the week. And it comes from, who's this guy that we're going to watch here, Tata?
This is somebody that we were doing arena with. One of my good friends, Nipplith. He's actually in my guild. Yeah, this actually came from last night as we were pushing for wins.
All right, and then I will put a link to his stream in the description too. So since he brought us this clip of the week, show some love to him, throw some support his way. But we will see what's going on in arena here with this guy on this week's hate to see it clip of the week.
No, stopped.
Combat.
Got it. Nice.
I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, I got him.
Nice.
I had to hit
Draw
one
me.
stream again.
What? The fuck? Clip that shit. Clip it.
What was that?
And he just got melted. What kind of damage got put
What?
into him there?
The fuck, dude?
Like, let's go back through this,
No,
Tata.
stop.
If you want to give us kind of the replay of what's going on here.
Nice.
Sure. 1 second here, actually.
We'll pause it, let you get ready.
Actually, oh man. Yeah, my stream just got all messed up now. See if this fixed it. Okay, can you play it one more time?
Yep, here we go.
No, stopped.
Combat.
Nice.
I don't know what they're doing.
I got him.
Nice.
Just power.
Draw me. What?
Yeah, just
The
completely
fuck? Clip that
vanished.
shit. Clip it.
Vanished back to BFA. And it's so funny because last night when we were queuing, I don't think we actually beat a Boomy team at all. We were just losing against Boomies almost all night. And so before the match started, we were like going through this strat of like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You're going to intervene. We're going to shout. We're going to make sure that you don't die in this opening. I'm not going to trinket. Like, we just had this huge strat planned out. And then he just completely vanished. It was like a 23k shadow strike. And with this comp that they were running, the Disc Priest was actually popping Dark Arc. And then they were just running in there, shadow striking, and then Star Surging. And it was just completely vanished, man. And we were all just so upset because all night consisted of us getting one-shotted. It was so crazy.
That is crazy.
So much
So-
damage.
Looking at a damage recap, it started with 1.1 seconds of a 3k cold blood, 1.1 of an AK melee hit, and then the next 0.1 second was 22k shadow strike and a 17k starburst. So that all happened in a matter of 1.1 seconds. This guy melted. So
Yeah,
Well.
and like the crazy like this comp, that's all they're doing is they're just going in one shot. So if you live the opening, you will your chances of winning are very very high. But what they're doing is that Div Priest is just basically running Dark Angel PvP talent, increasing the damage of his rogue and also Boomy, and then they're just running in there and just trying to evaporate somebody, and it's just like, yeah, it's so hard to predict. The problem is predicting who it's gonna be on because we know it's gonna happen. We just don't know if it's gonna be the warrior, me, or the sham. So, but yeah, that's basically their strat, and it's definitely they probably did that all the way up to high rating.
So, how do you stop that? Because in a 1 second reaction time, like, even if you sacked him, would that be enough to save him? Like, how do you
Yeah,
react
it
in
would
1
be.
second?
It would definitely be enough to have him live, but so there's a couple things you can do. You can run a trinket called Battle Master trinket. It basically increases your health for a certain amount of time. I think it's like 20% or 25%. I can't remember the exact number, but it's kind of like a little Hellstone, but that your health will go away after a certain amount of seconds. So, but the idea is like if you get open on you, just hit your Battle Master trinket, and that gives the ability for to have a little bit of a reaction basically. And I would sack that. I would immediately just trinket sack, but when it happens that quick, it's just hard to know. Like usually it's on me. Usually they try to kill the healer. That's the idea. And so I usually get ready to divine. As soon as I open, I just divine. But I didn't see it actually coming on the sham that quick. So, but yeah, usually the strat would be to sack as fast as possible. And sack is it's not on GCD, so you can sack pretty quick. But yeah, there is just there's no way. It was so quick.
Yeah, because I guess your reaction time, because you were sapped going into this, right? I'm assuming they sapped the healer.
No, I actually got in combat, I believe, here. I think he just went in, beamed me, and then just died. So I would have to like trinket, because what boomies do is they root you, and then they beam you. So you're like stuck in that beam. You can't freedom yourself out. You can't do anything. But the idea would probably be to actually divine sack, because if you trinket, you still have to run out of beam, and it probably wouldn't be fast enough. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I'd probably say to divine and sack, but you have to remember as well though, at this rating, if you're divining already and sacking, your chances of winning down the road now are very slim, because now you used all your cooldowns. So, but yeah, it's difficult. It's definitely difficult.
Well, I guess we should probably put those up as the top tier oh shit comp too, as a boomkin. If you run against a boomkin, sub rogue, and priest, oh shit, somebody's just gonna die before you blink.
Yeah, they have a name for it. It's called Dancing with the Stars. Because shadow dancing and Starfall, and that's where you get Dancing with the Stars. It's a scary comp.
All right. Well, again, that clip was brought to you by Nipplith. Again, his information will be in the description below in the video. Feel free to show that guy some love for basically falling over dead for us to laugh at for a little bit. All right, couple little quick topics to go over this week coming up. It's the Love is in the Air event. It's going to go for 2 weeks. If you're chasing just the completionist stuff, or if you want to see some fun stuff out there, this thing's going to roll out. I think one of the big things people look forward in this event is this big love rocket, where it's this rocket mount you can ride on that looks like we'll just say a log. Kind of on the morning wood topic, it's a big love log.
So it's a love log. Oh,
Yes.
A love log.
And I
It's
guess
bright pink. You can't miss it.
this might be in, I guess, your wheelhouse there, Murlock. I guess, do you look forward to this event? Do you do anything with this event, or?
So I have all the mounts and the pets from the Love is in the Air event, except for that big love rocket.
Oh.
All right, so you're going to do the daily stuff every day, trying to mark that off your checklist?
Oh yeah. And I'll probably
Yeah.
be trying to get like extra stuff if I can, like extra pets for people, so I can cage them and give them to guildies if they don't run them.
Okay, nice.
How do you get the love rocket?
It's a very, very small drop chance off of the daily repeatable quest that you can. I think you have to. God, I forget the name of the dungeon now that you have to go to, but you have to queue for it like you would for the Headless Horseman event. You're going in and killing the guy that makes the perfume.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. I remember. I forgot what that dungeon is called too, actually.
Shadowfang Keep? Is it Shadowfang Keep?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's Shadowfang
Shadowfang
Keep. That's
Keep.
what it is. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
there's
right.
like
That's
3
it.
alchemists, so a quick little daily on multiple characters. You can hop in there, kill the boss, and get a chance at it. So
Now, someone like released how many people actually get it when the event comes out, get them out, and it was like a very small amount.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't remember what they said. Was it like 1 a day or something like that? It's actually it's an insane small drop chance, right?
Yeah, it's very, very low drop chance.
all right, so we'll see if one of us can get the big love log rocket by
Big
next
love
week.
log.
We'll see. I guess anything else you guys want to touch on that topic, or just like, hey, it's out there, go with the rocket? Got anything else on the topic?
Lunar Festival too. Same week as the Love is in the Air event, and there is a pet you can get on the Horde side and a pet you can get on the Alliance side.
Oh, and they're different on each side.
That's correct.
Does Lunar run this 2-week duration, or how long does that run from?
Let me look at the calendar real quick and see when Lunar stops. So Lunar will end on the 19th, and Love is in the Air will end on the 22nd. So Lunar started last Friday.
Okay, so 2-week duration, but we're already in the swing of things with the Lunar, and Monday we're going to start Valentine's. Love is in the Air for 2 weeks. All right. Anything else in those 2-week things we want to talk about for those?
I don't know what the Torgath Chorus of the Dead event is, but the Chorus of the Dead Souls, Chorus of Dead Souls begins for Torgath on this Tuesday.
Yep. So
What is that?
that thing. So I actually looked into this thing. So we just finished the Torgath, or we're still in the pet one, like this beast thing, where one of the animations you can pick up is this little pet that runs around with you, and you can get anima to buff that pet. I felt like this was a shitty one because I would feed it stuff, and I feel like it really didn't do much in like the DPS charts. Like, I feel like this was a throw month or however long this event went for, but this one coming up is kind of weird. You're gonna get something that basically, is my understanding, makes you like a piano or some shit, and you've got special abilities you can use, and as you go through, instead of getting the anima that buffs like your Star Surge or your crit, it's gonna buff your special like chorus abilities, but then it's got like a Power Ranger thing to it where you can like have somebody combine with you and you become this like chorus Megazord or what have you, and then like your ability is like, it sounds cheesy, but I'm kind of intrigued on how this is going to lay out, because it's just going to be weird. Like, I don't know if we've seen something where you can combine with somebody else and you also stack up your abilities, and I don't know if you're just going to be running through this thing as just a big bulldozer, just wrecking things with crazy abilities. So get in Torgath this week, check it out. It's going to be something different we haven't seen. It may be a shit show. You may go in there, turn into this Zord, and just fall over from like one little soft little maw rat. But you may be super crazy. At least something different they put in there to try and draw people into Torgath, because it's the Shadowland Islands. It's the repeatable content you have to do because you want those Legos. I guess you guys excited for this? I guess. What's your thought? I guess we'll start with you there, Murlock. I guess what's your thought on this new event that's coming up off the little bit I threw at you?
You know, honestly, I like to see them add new stuff into the game like that, add little twists and add things to try and keep the content fresh. Like, people get kind of burned out grinding on stuff, so even if it is not exactly what we're looking for, the fact that they're trying to do stuff, they're trying new things to keep the content fresh is good to me.
Fair. I guess. What's your thought there, Vexx?
I'm gonna close my eyes and Mongo and get carried through by layer 8s, and I'll be good.
All right, what about you there, Tata? I don't think you've been in Torgath for a month now, huh?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I do agree with Murlock though. I think I love to hear people have like a different point of view in the game, and I think the more, you know, Blizzard kind of realized that not everything should be revolved around, you know, Mythic, Raid, PvP. That there's other aspects of the game that people appreciate, and having content available to those players. I think that makes it a little bit more appealing to newcomers that are trying to get into the game, because like when people come into my stream, I've talked to a few people that had never played WoW before, and it's really hard to be like, yeah, come play WoW, and then they're in my stream and we're like talking like all these strats and stuff and make the game look so difficult when it's really, you know, there's so much more to the game. And I think that the more that those kind of come out and get more participation in will make it more appealing to new players. So I definitely love that.
Read more reason to draw people in.
Yep.
All right, and then I guess your guys' favorite topic of the week. We'll transition to the what else is going on. So I guess Tata, we'll start with you. What else you got going on that you want to throw out here?
So for those that don't know, we've been working on. I got into Minecraft basically. I kind of heard all this talk about it, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I started with Minecraft Dungeons, and then I thought to myself, okay, let's actually try regular Minecraft. And when I went to the game, I said, I want to know how I can beat the game. I don't want to like build a house for myself and focus on that. I want to know like, how can I get rolling credits on this thing? And so far, I realized how hard it is. We had to go into basically the Nether realm. For those that play Minecraft, it's basically another realm that's kind of hidden. You got to go through portals and set up portals to get there. And we had to go get some items through the Nether. And we got all prepared. We grinded all these materials, got these nice armors. Demoli, which is one of the players on there, she actually had all this enchanted gear and everything. And we were so ready, and we went in there, and we just got absolutely destroyed. It wasn't even a chance. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, I'm a grown man going into Minecraft. I'm going to destroy kids. And no, it wasn't that way. I was running for my life the whole game, the whole time. And but one of the players that I play with actually ended up getting what we needed. And so we're still on track of killing the dragon in Minecraft, which I'm definitely looking forward to. So for those that are looking to get into Minecraft or want to try it, you should definitely give it a chance, because I'm actually having a blast on it. I love it. And we have a community server as well. So the way it works is when you join the server, you basically just see us on the server. And you can kind of like build your own stuff and help us prep to kill the dragon.
So what's gonna happen first? You can kill this dragon, or are you gonna get AOTC?
At this point, it's probably gonna be kill the dragon.
And then I guess Vexx, you're in there with him, right? With his devil's Legos, as I like to call it.
Devil's Legos. Yeah. Yeah, I actually spent a little bit of time on there yesterday building up some contraptions that made everybody nervous, I think. But I like doing the contraptions and stuff in there and making farms to kind of automate things, and that's what I've been working on. I'm trying to kickstart everything on my end to make it easier for everybody else. But the rate they're going, they'll probably end up killing the dragon before I get my stuff working.
I'm actually going to go into a little bit more in depth of what Vexx did that actually blew my mind. So on the game, there's cows there, right? And if you kill them, they drop basically beef. And what you can actually do is you can mate the cows to make more cows. So you can build yourself a little farm. But what Vexx did with this high IQ plays is he built this little box, I'm going to say, put a bunch of cows in there, and kept mating them over and over and over. So basically you have, let's just say 100 cows all glitched in a small little area, and they're basically getting grinded into meat. So that on the bottom of the box, there's basically going to be meat there that's just continuously giving you meat. So he built this little cow grinder on Minecraft that is, and I don't know if I fully explain it 100% correct, but it's along those lines.
So it's not even working correctly. So you're gonna love the next version that I'm about to build. I'll probably work on it today. But yeah, it's just it. I think they patched it so it doesn't work. But there's like a entity limit in a block space, and when you fit too many things in there, they just kind of kill it off, and then they drop what you want from them. But it hasn't been working. So what I'm gonna do, Tata, is I'm gonna do a similar thing, but instead, there's gonna be trapdoors, and so when they breed, the babies are gonna fall into these little slots, and then big enough, I push a button, and lava pours out and kills them, and then drops everything underneath. So, anyways, yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's the kind of stuff I like working on.
God, it blows my mind, dude.
So a Minecraft slaughterhouse. That's what it.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
Vexx enjoys
Hey,
doing in Minecraft.
I need leather for my books, bro. So
Oh man, I guess Murlock, you ever get into the Minecraft world or anything with that?
You know, I did play Minecraft Dungeons a little bit. It was a really, really fun, challenging game. I didn't think that it was going to be as fun as it was, and that actually made me take a second look at Minecraft, which honestly, this whole time I thought of was just like a little kid's game that was some easy thing to do, and it was just a lame game. And I'm watching my son. I just got my son a Minecraft server, so he's got his own server, and he's installing these mod packs, and he's showing me all these extremely complex crafting things, and I'm like, man, it just blows me away. Building nuclear reactors and like all kinds of weird stuff. It's such a really cool in-depth game. If you've never actually looked at Minecraft before, I would definitely give it a look. There's a lot more there than meets the eye.
See, Lynkz?
Oh man, so you guys converted another one. I'm still gonna stay away.
It's
from
actually
it.
It's my son, man. My son totally converted me to the possibilities. Like they have MMO style Minecraft servers where there's thousands of people playing this MMO version of Minecraft, auction houses and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh man. All right, well, there's their plug for Minecraft. Apparently, Minecraft Dungeons is a gateway drug to Minecraft. So that's how I think Tata got into this, and that's what segued Murlock a little bit into it. And then we got Vexx over there who just likes to slaughter cows and build burger houses. So
burger houses, challenge accepted.
That's actually a good sign. And he did actually more than that as well. He built another automated house, but it's just so complex that it goes over my head.
Yeah, I could talk on this forever, but I'm actually making an XP farm behind my house too that I haven't showed you yet. So we'll check that out later.
all right, I guess we'll end with that note. Anything else you guys want to talk about there, Tata? Anything else on your end?
No, I think I do want to thank Murlock for coming out though. That was so awesome, man. I'm so glad. It was actually really fun with having you here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. And, if you guys have any questions about pet battles, you guys can always. I have a YouTube channel as well too. If you want to plug that, throw that into the comment or throw that into the description below too. I'm trying to get that off the ground and record pet battles and hopefully open it up for other people so that you guys, much like you're addicted to Minecraft, and also get addicted to pet battles and WoW.
There we go. I guess we'll use that as a way to wrap it up. Murlock, where can people find you? What's the best way they can find you?
So I have my YouTube channel, which I'll give to you. I haven't secured my actual. I have enough subscribers to get the custom name, but they haven't given it to me for some reason. So it's just a bunch of letters and numbers right now. I am on Got My Shots on the Argo server Alliance side. You guys can always ask me questions there as well too.
Okay.
And Twitch.
You stream on Twitch. Do you stream on a regular schedule, or is it?
So I kind of fell out of it with the whole COVID thing and my son moving in, but I really want to get back on a schedule again. So hopefully you guys will start to see me probably on Mondays, and then Mondays for raid night, and then maybe Wednesday and Friday as well.
Okay, and we'll put the links to Murlock's, well, at least somehow to get to his YouTube channel, and we'll put his Twitch information. So throw some followers so you can keep an eye out when he pops up. I guess, Vexx, how can people track you down?
You can find me on Twitter and occasionally on Twitch at Vexxlolz, VEXXLOLZ.
All right, and you got the schedule figured out yet? We're still working on picking that out.
No schedule.
No schedule, all right. So, again, keep an eye out for Vexx. He's like a shooting star. If you keep your eyes open, you might see him every once in a while. Mr. Tata, where can people find you?
Twitch at Tata TTV, and then Twitter as well. It's Tata Wow, and then my YouTube has just a bunch of numbers and letters. But you can find it on my Twitter and Twitch as well.
All right, good deal. And then links here, you can find me twitch.tv, Lynkz TV. We're here every Sunday morning, 8 o'clock Central Time, and then weeknights, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be here at 7 p.m. to 10 o'clock Central Time, streaming whatever's going on in WoW. Again, want to appreciate you guys for waking up with some morning wood here. We will be back again next Sunday for episode number 4. All right, we out.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.